firm protective protocols to ensure Hande and Kerem were not consumed by the relentless pressure of global fame. Yet, despite all the PR strategies and protective walls, the connection between Hande and Kerem was so undeniably genuine that no publicity agency on earth could have manufactured it. They shared an organic bond that unfolded naturally under the watchful eye of the world, making every joint interview, live stream, and red carpet event an immediate global internet event. Why did this specific pairing captivate the hearts of millions across distinct continents in a way that very few on-screen couples ever achieve? The answer goes far beyond breathtaking aesthetics and high-end styling. Hande Erçel brought a vibrant, fiercely passionate, and emotionally raw vulnerability to her character that made audiences fall in love with her journey, while Kerem Bürsin offered an exceptionally rare combination of commanding charisma, gentle warmth, and modern international sensibilities. Together, they redefined the modern romance genre for audiences across South America, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. International television executives were stunned as HANKER shattered streaming records and topped social media trending lists, outperforming major multi-million-dollar international productions. The name HANKER quickly became far more than a simple fandom moniker. It evolved into a massive, compassionate global family where fans from totally different cultures and languages came together to celebrate two people who brought immense joy and inspiration into their lives. When the series finally reached its emotional conclusion and their personal paths eventually diverged, the tabloid media machine went into absolute overdrive. Dramatic headlines and speculative gossip flooded the internet, but those who understand the inner workings of the Turkish media landscape knew that the reality was far more mature and grounded. Managers and industry insiders continuously emphasized that both Hande and Kerem handled their transition with incredible dignity and deep mutual respect. Even as they stepped into new personal and professional chapters, the fundamental admiration they hold for one another remained untouched. Directors who have directed them individually in subsequent projects frequently share how both actors continue to speak about their time on HANKER with immense gratitude and warmth. There are no dramatic rivalries or bitter feelings behind closed doors. Instead, there is a shared understanding of having walked through an extraordinary life-changing experience together that very few people in the world will ever truly comprehend. Fast forward to today, and both Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin are expanding their creative horizons, proving their star power and artistic growth on global platforms. Hande has effortlessly established herself as an international fashion icon and a sought-after dramatic lead, collaborating with prestigious luxury houses across Europe while choosing complex acting roles that showcase her versatility. Meanwhile, Kerem has been making massive waves not only as a charismatic lead actor but also as a forward-thinking producer and creative storyteller. He is actively writing, developing, and producing cutting-edge digital series and cinematic feature films designed to bridge Turkish storytelling with global cinema markets. Insiders within high-level production circles report that Kerem's production arm is collaborating on ambitious international co-productions aimed at major streaming platforms, solidifying his reputation as an innovator who refuses to stay inside traditional boundaries. This brings us straight to the ultimate question that producers, directors, and fans all over the world are asking behind closed doors: will Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin ever grace the screen together again? Top industry managers in Istanbul state that in the entertainment world, the door is never truly closed. Whispers are already circulating through production offices that several specialized scripts are quietly being developed with their unique energy in mind, specifically tailored for high-budget limited series formats. Industry experts suggest that for a reunion to take place, it would not be a repetitive romantic comedy, but rather a sophisticated drama or cinematic project that matches their current artistic evolution. Directors who have witnessed their growth over the years express immense excitement at the mere possibility of what Hande and Kerem could achieve together today, bringing years of refined craft and timeless chemistry back into the frame. Looking back at the entire phenomenon of Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin, it becomes overwhelmingly clear that HANKER was never just a passing viral trend or a temporary broadcast moment. It was a rare alignment of genuine passion, extraordinary talent, and global love that touched millions of lives across the globe. Their journey taught us the beauty of authentic connection and the lasting power of shared art. Now, I want to hand the conversation over to you, because this amazing community is the real soul of this story. Which unforgettable moment from Erçel Kerem made you fall in love with them for the first time? Do you believe we will see them share the screen in an epic new project in the near future? Please share all your favorite memories, thoughts, and theories down in the comments below, because I love reading through your stories and chatting with every single one of you. If this deep dive brought back sweet memories and put a smile on your face today, please take a quick moment to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow HANKER friends around the world, and subscribe so you never miss another immersive story about the stars we love most. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, keep believing in true magic, and I will see you in our very next video. Stop right here for just 1 second. Have you ever looked at two people on a screen and felt, with absolute certainty, that what you were witnessing went way beyond any script ever written? Back in the summer of 2020, a romantic drama premiered on Turkish television, expecting to be just another pleasant seasonal show. But within a matter of weeks, Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin did not just break the internet, they redefined global fandom forever. That electric, unscripted chemistry was not something you could simply rehearse or fake. It was real, it was magnetic, and it created a global movement that still dominates social media feeds across the planet today. But what really happened behind those iconic scenes? Why does the HANKER legacy refuse to fade even after all this time, and where are Hande and Kerem heading next as they step into bold new chapters of their careers? Trust me, if you have ever felt your heart flutter watching Ida Yıldız and Serkan Bolat, you cannot afford to skip a single second of this video, because today we are diving deep into the untold magic, the hidden details, and the thrilling future of two of the biggest global stars of our era. Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Pull up a comfortable chair, grab your favorite drink, and let us sit down for a real, cozy conversation today. You know, every once in a long while, the universe aligns in television history. We get plenty of great shows, impressive performances, and talented actors every single year. But true, unfiltered magic? That is something exceptionally rare. It happens maybe once in a decade if we are truly lucky. When Erçel Kerem burst onto our screens, nobody quite anticipated the global hurricane it would unleash. Ida Yıldız and Serkan Bolat were designed on paper as a classic enemy-to-lovers narrative. It was supposed to be a fun, light-hearted, charming story about a headstrong landscape architect and a rigid, workaholic architect-contractor. But the exact moment Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin shared their very first frame together, the written script almost took a back seat to the raw energy between them. The way their eyes locked, the natural timing of their playful banter, the quiet, lingering glances, and the subtle smiles that felt far too genuine to be mere acting, it captivated viewers across more than 120 countries. People from entirely different cultures, speaking completely different languages, all tuned in every single week, staying up until the middle of the night just to feel that spark. What made HANKER so extraordinarily special to millions of fans was how completely natural everything felt both on and off camera. Do you remember those legendary Instagram live streams they used to host during their brief breaks on set? Those were not cold, rehearsed promotional events staged by public relations teams. They were raw, chaotic, hilarious, and deeply affectionate conversations between two human beings who genuinely adored each other's presence. Kerem with his infectious, room-brightening laugh, his playful teasing, and his unwavering gentlemanly respect, paired seamlessly with Hande's radiant elegance, brilliant quick wit, and breathtaking smile. They built a bridge of pure authenticity that felt like a warm breath of fresh air in an industry that often feels overly calculated. It was not merely about two remarkably attractive lead actors sharing a romantic plotline, it was about two incredible individuals who constantly supported, elevated, and protected one another through intense pressure. When you are working 18-hour days under scorching suns or freezing nights with non-stop camera crews, exhaustion normally sets in and tempers can easily flare. Yet, virtually every single piece of behind-the-scenes footage showed them laughing, sharing meals, comforting each other through grueling production schedules, and bringing out absolute greatness in each other's performances. That profound mutual respect transformed Ida and Serkan from fictional characters into enduring international icons. Before we explore their current personal journeys, their massive individual milestones, and the exciting new projects that have fans buzzing worldwide right now, I want to take a short pause right here. If you are sitting there right now with a warm smile on your face remembering those iconic moments, please take 2 seconds to hit that like button. It truly makes a massive difference for our channel and allows us to keep bringing you deep, heart-filled content like this. And while you are at it, I want you to jump down to the comments section right now and tell me your absolute favorite HANKER memory of all time. Was it the intense fake engagement contract argument, the legendary rain scene, the unforgettable night under the stars in Antalya, or perhaps one of their unscripted live streams where they could not stop laughing? I personally read through your comments, and I cannot wait to read about the moment that made you fall in love with this pair. Also, if you have not joined our amazing channel family yet, hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss any of our upcoming deep dives into your favorite shows and stars. Now, let us turn our attention to where they are today and how their individual trajectories have expanded since the show concluded its legendary run. Hande Erçel has transformed into a global powerhouse, far transcending the boundaries of traditional television acting to establish herself as an international fashion authority and cultural figure. Watching her evolution over the past few years has been nothing short of breathtaking. She has walked the glamorous red carpets of the world-famous Cannes Film Festival, commanding the attention of top luxury fashion houses, international photographers, and elite media outlets from Paris to Tokyo. Brands worldwide compete to collaborate with her because she carries a rare combination of timeless Mediterranean beauty, modern elegance, and effortless sophistication. Yet, despite her soaring fashion status, Hande has never lost her deep-rooted passion for storytelling. Her powerful performance in the intense psychological drama series Bambaska Bayri surprised critics everywhere, proving that her artistic range as an actress goes far beyond traditional romantic comedy, diving into complex, emotionally demanding roles with incredible maturity. Beyond her work in front of the lens, Hande has poured immense passion into her love for painting and visual arts, demonstrating that her creative spirit is multifaceted. Looking ahead, Hande continues to carefully curate her upcoming projects, balancing high-profile international brand ambassador duties with exciting film and digital platform scripts that promise to show completely new dimensions of her talent. On the other side of this dynamic duo, Kerem Bürsin has established himself as one of the most versatile, forward-thinking creators in modern entertainment. Kerem has never been satisfied with just standing in front of the camera and reading lines. He is a filmmaker and visionary at heart. Following the global phenomenon of Hande Kerem, Kerem took bold strategic steps to expand his creative horizons both within Turkey and across international borders. He has actively stepped into the producer chair, developing projects through his production company and championing original stories that resonate with global audiences. A prime example of his dedication is his feature film project Mavi Magara, a compelling story that he not only starred in but also co-wrote and produced, proving his profound commitment to the craft of cinema. Kerem brings an extraordinary work ethic to everything he touches, whether he is starring in hit romantic series like Yasak Seversen, preparing for heavy dramatic feature films, or collaborating with international directors across Europe and the Americas. His passion for social causes, combined with his charismatic screen presence, intellectual depth, and dedication to physical fitness and mental discipline, makes every new project he announces an instant global talking point. What fascinates me most about the HANKER phenomenon is how gracefully it has matured over the years. Even as Hande and Kerem pursue their own individual artistic paths, conquer new personal milestones, and build separate careers, the foundation they constructed together remains an untouchable chapter in pop culture history. The global audience that fell in love with them during Hande Kerem did not simply move on when the final episode aired. Instead, that massive international community transformed into a fiercely loyal, supportive global network that celebrates both of their individual successes with equal enthusiasm. Whenever Hande shines on a global red carpet or lands a new major contract, the fans are there cheering. Whenever Kerem launches a new film, writes a script, or wins an international award, the fans are right there supporting him. This proves that what they brought to life was not just a short-lived summer trend, it was a rare moment of genuine artistic harmony that crossed borders, united millions of people, and reminded us why we fall in love with great stories in the first place. As we look toward the future, the horizon for both of these incredible artists is unlimited. Hande Erçel is continuing to expand her international footprint with exciting new acting roles, digital series, and high-level fashion partnerships, while Kerem Bürsin continues to redefine Turkish cinema on the global stage through his writing, producing, and acting ventures. They have both proven that true talent, when combined with humility, relentless hard work, and genuine respect for the audience, creates a legacy that never fades. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today and diving deep into this beautiful story. If you enjoyed this conversation, please remember to hit that like button, leave your favorite memories in the comments, and share this video with fellow HANKER fans across the world. Keep supporting great art, keep spreading love and positivity wherever you go, and I will see you all very soon in our next video. What if the greatest love story ever seen on modern television was actually a ticking time bomb? Before you click away, let me ask you a question that millions of fans around the globe are still whispering about online. How do two people who set the internet on fire with their electric on-screen chemistry completely erase each other from their lives in the blink of an eye? We are talking about Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin, the iconic duo known to the world as HANKER. For nearly 2 full years, they were the undisputed king and queen of global fandoms, turning a simple Turkish romantic comedy into a worldwide phenomenon that shattered social media records. But then, almost overnight, the fairy tale crumbled into absolute silence, leaving behind broken hearts, deleted photos, and a trail of mysterious unanswered questions. If you ever found yourself smiling at their playful Instagram live sessions, holding your breath during those unforgettable scenes in HANKER Kerem, or endlessly scrolling through their hashtag, you owe it to yourself to hear the real story of what truly happened behind the closed doors of their relationship, why they suddenly tore it all apart, and what they actually said after the dust settled. Stick with me until the very end, because by the time this video finishes, you will look at their story with a completely new perspective. Make sure to hit that like button right now if you ever rooted for them, and drop a comment letting me know your favorite HANKER moment because I will be replying to as many of you as I can below. To truly understand how deep the heartbreak was when they split, we have to go back to where it all began, to the set of HANKER Kerem in the summer of 2020. When the show first premiered, nobody could have predicted the sheer magnitude of the global earthquake it was about to create across pop culture. Hande Erçel was already one of the biggest stars in Turkey, adored for her undeniable charm, stunning looks, and captivating screen presence. Kerem Bürsin brought a unique, suave, international charisma to the table, having lived across different continents and developed a distinct acting style. On paper, putting them together in a fake dating romantic comedy was a brilliant production decision, but from the very first scene they shot together, something extraordinary happened. The chemistry between them was not just convincing, it was terrifyingly real. Every glance, every spontaneous laugh, every tender touch between Eda Yıldız'dan and Serkan Bolat felt like a real emotion leaking through the screen. Viewers everywhere immediately began asking the exact same question. Are these two just exceptionally talented actors, or are they falling hopelessly in love in real time right in front of our eyes? For months, both Hande and Kerem played it cool in public. Whenever paparazzi caught them leaving restaurant venues or walking through filming locations, they brushed off the endless dating rumors with charming, evasive smiles, claiming they were just close friends and hardworking co-stars. But the fandom knew better. The way Kerem looked at Hande during behind-the-scenes interviews, the way Hande could not stop giggling whenever Kerem made a joke, and the constant playful bantering on their Instagram live broadcasts was something you simply could not fake. And then came the historic moment that officially broke the internet. In April 2021, after wrapping up Season 1, Hande and Kerem took a vacation to the Maldives together. Suddenly, breathtaking photos started dropping on their social media profiles. Hande posted a picture of Kerem walking on the beach with a romantic caption, while Kerem shared a photo of Hande calling her his ocean and his heart. The secret was finally out. HANKER was no longer just a fan ship, it was a real, living, breathing romance. From that single moment on, their relationship became a global sensation. They were featured on international magazine covers, trending daily on social media in dozens of countries. They traveled together, attended award ceremonies side by side, and seemed completely inseparable. Kerem brought out a joyous, light-hearted side in Hande, while Hande gave Kerem a sense of home and deep emotional grounding. They were living in a high-energy bubble of immense fame, artistic success, and passionate love. So how on earth did a bond that seemed so indestructible suddenly shatter into pieces just a few months later? To understand the breakup, we have to look at the intense pressure cooking inside their celebrity world. Towards late 2021 and early 2022, subtle rumors began circulating that cracks were starting to form in their relationship. One of the primary factors entertainment insiders point to was the unbearable weight of constant public scrutiny. Imagine living every single second of your romantic life under a powerful microscopic lens where every post, every like, and every second spent apart is scrutinized, judged, and theorized by millions of people. When a real-life romance is born on a massive television set, the boundaries between private personal life and public performance become dangerously blurred. Beyond the relentless public pressure, major industry dynamics played a huge role in pulling them apart. Shortly after Erçel Kerem concluded, major digital streaming platforms were entering the Turkish market. Kerem was reportedly offered a lead role that involved collaborating with another high-profile actress. Tabloid reports suggested that this career opportunity created unexpected tension and communication breakdowns between Hande and Kerem. While neither of them ever publicly confirmed these tabloid claims, the surrounding media drama created heavy emotional stress. Friends close to the couple hinted that they were simply running on completely different tracks when it came to their long-term personal goals and career trajectories. Kerem was looking toward international film ventures, while Hande was repositioning her personal brand, taking on high-fashion global ambassadorships, and re-evaluating her lifestyle path. When two ambitious, world-famous individuals reach a major crossroad where their future visions no longer align, even the deepest love can get caught in the crossfire and crumble. The actual separation did not happen with a loud public explosion, but rather with a chilling, sudden freeze. In early 2022, fans noticed that the frequent likes and cute social media interactions between them had completely vanished. Then came the ultimate confirmation that sent shockwaves through the global fandom. Hande quietly deleted almost every single picture featuring Kerem from her Instagram page, including the iconic Maldives declaration of love. A few days later, Kerem followed suit, removing his posts with Hande and unfollowing her account completely. For a fanbase that had spent nearly 2 years celebrating every single milestone of their journey, this cold digital erasure felt like a devastating dagger to the heart. When journalists cornered them at red carpet events asking what went wrong, both Hande and Kerem handled the situation with remarkable dignity, maintaining firm boundaries. Kerem was repeatedly asked about Hande during interviews for his new projects. He consistently maintained a deeply respectful tone, telling reporters that he has nothing but immense respect for Hande, that she is a wonderful person and an amazingly talented actress, and that he truly wishes her nothing but absolute happiness in her life. He strictly refused to give tabloid journalists dramatic quotes, keeping the private details of their final moments entirely behind closed doors. Hande was equally composed yet direct. When asked if they were still on talking terms or if there was any chance of reconciliation, she politely made it clear that that chapter of her life was officially closed and that she was fully focused on her work, her family, and moving forward with her future. Later on, when Hande started a high-profile relationship with businessman Hakan Sabancı, the media tried once again to provoke reactions from Kerem, but Kerem gracefully declined to comment on her personal choices, emphasizing that everyone deserves to be happy and live their life freely without judgment. Looking back at the HANKER story today, it is easy to feel a bittersweet sense of melancholy. They were a rare cultural phenomenon, a magical pairing where real life and on-screen fiction intertwined so beautifully that for a brief moment in time, millions of people across different continents shared the exact same joy and romance. Even though their real-life relationship reached its final chapter, the artistic legacy of what they created together remains completely untouched. Their performance in Erçel Kerem continues to break streaming records, gaining brand new fans in new countries every single day. Perhaps the ultimate lesson of Hande and Kerem's story is that some loves are meant to burn intensely for a bright season rather than last forever, and that is completely okay. They gave us an unforgettable era, an iconic love story, and moments that made us all smile. Now, I really want to hear from every single one of you watching this. What do you think was the main reason behind their sudden split? Do you think the overwhelming media pressure was just too much to handle, or was it simply two ambitious people growing in different directions? And most importantly, do you still find yourself rewatching Ida and Serkan's best scenes whenever you need a dose of romance? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, because I love reading your opinions and replying to your theories. If you enjoyed this video and found this story meaningful, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to keep making deep videos for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. What if I told you that one single smile on a quiet television set in Istanbul triggered a digital earthquake across more than 80 countries, breaking global internet records and blurring the lines between scripted romance and real life so completely that millions of people still have not recovered from it? We live in an era where on-screen chemistry is routinely engineered by expert casting directors, clever editing, and sweeping music. But what happened between Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin during the filming of Çenkel Kapimi was something entirely outside the control of any scriptwriter or director. It was a genuine cultural hurricane. Viewers did not simply watch Ida Yıldız and Serkan Bolat navigate a fake relationship on screen, they watched two real human beings fall in love right before their eyes in real time. But here is the question that almost nobody is asking: was this a fairy tale destined to last forever, or did the crushing weight of worldwide fame and public obsession ultimately pull them apart? Stay right here, because in this video we are stepping past surface rumors and diving deeper than ever into the real story of HANKER. We will explore the electric moments that captivated the world, the quiet behind-the-scenes reality of their connection, and why their legacy still dominates the hearts of fans everywhere. Before we unpack their very first meeting, tell me down in the comments, what was the exact moment in the show where you realized these two were no longer just acting? Drop your favorite memories, smash that like button if you still rewatch their iconic scenes, and let us dive straight into this story. To understand how this phenomenon began, we have to rewind to early 2020. At that time, Turkish television was already a global powerhouse, producing romantic comedies that captured hearts worldwide. However, the announcement of a new project titled Çenkel Kapimi felt somewhat standard at first. Hande Erçel was already one of the most beloved actresses in Turkey, bringing magnetic grace and millions of fans to every project. Kerem Bürsin brought a unique international charisma and fresh energy that stood out from traditional leads. On paper, putting them together seemed like a smart business decision. But business decisions do not guarantee emotional magic. The real turn of events happened during their very first table read. Crew members later recalled that the moment Hande and Kerem sat across from each other, the ambient energy in the room transformed instantly. There was an effortless rhythm to their dialogue, a natural banter requiring zero effort, and an intense visual harmony that could not be manufactured. When cameras finally began rolling for the pilot episode, the director barely needed to instruct them on how to look at each other. The gaze between Ida and Serkan had an electric weight that immediately jumped off the screen and straight into the living rooms of millions. What made the story of Ida and Serkan so addictive was how closely it mirrored the growing curiosity of the audience in real life. The show began with a classic narrative device: two people who pretend to be in love to achieve personal goals, only to find themselves genuinely falling for one another. As week after week went by, viewers began to notice something fascinating. The scripted moments of hesitation, the playful arguments, and the tender unscripted glances seemed to spill over into their real-world interactions. During long hours of filming stretching late into the night, Hande and Kerem became completely inseparable. They were constantly seen sharing inside jokes, practicing lines together, and posting candid videos on social media showing a level of comfort that went far beyond typical co-stars. Fans quickly picked up on these subtle clues. A quiet touch on the shoulder during a break, shared laughter between takes, or the way Kerem would look at Hande when she was not paying attention, these unscripted moments began circulating on Instagram and TikTok, accumulating hundreds of millions of views. The boundary between fiction and reality dissolved into a captivating story that nobody wanted to end. By the time the series reached its mid-season, the world had caught HANKER fever. It was no longer just a hit TV show in Turkey, it was a global digital movement. Fans across different continents, speaking completely different languages, united online to translate clips within minutes of broadcast. Social media trends were constantly dominated by the couple, with fans analyzing every single interview, behind-the-scenes video, and comment. The chemistry between Hande and Kerem created a virtual community where people found comfort and joy during a challenging global time. Their playful interactions on live streams drew hundreds of thousands of concurrent viewers from South America, the Middle East, Europe, and Asia just to watch them talk and laugh together. What made them so appealing was their sheer authenticity. Neither Hande nor Kerem appeared to be playing a role off camera. Kerem was constantly supportive of Hande's artistic talents, while Hande brought out a joyful, relaxed side of Kerem that fans had rarely seen before. They elevated each other, both professionally and personally, and that synergy made the world want to be part of their universe. For months, journalists and fans continuously asked the ultimate question: are they actually dating in real life? Both actors kept their private lives guarded with incredible dignity, offering witty responses and maintaining that they were primarily best friends and dedicated partners on set. But in April 2021, after wrapping up the first season, the couple decided to take a getaway to the Maldives. What followed was a moment permanently etched into pop culture history. Photos surfaced of them holding hands, followed by breathtaking posts on their official Instagram accounts. Kerem shared a candid image of Hande with a caption admiring her beauty, while Hande shared a photo of Kerem with equally heartwarming words. The internet practically exploded overnight. It was the moment millions of fans had been praying for, an explicit confirmation that the love story they watched on screen was just as powerful, genuine, and beautiful in real life. News outlets across the world reported on the announcement, making HANKER the most talked-about couple on the planet. The momentum of their real-life romance propelled the second season into uncharted territory. The season finale of Erçel Kerem marked a historic milestone that blew away international television records. On the night the final episode aired, fans organized a massive social media campaign, generating nearly 9 million tweets under the show's official hashtag. This astounding figure officially surpassed the previous Twitter record held by the series finale of Game of Thrones, making Erçel Kerem the most tweeted television episode in human history. Think about that for a second. A Turkish romantic comedy, driven by the unmatched magnetic chemistry of Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin, managed to outperform the biggest fantasy production in global media history. It was proof positive that genuine emotional connection and authentic human chemistry will always triumph over massive budgets and special effects. People were not just invested in how the story of Ida and Serkan would end, they were celebrating a monumental cultural moment created by two actors who captured the heart of the globe. However, with unprecedented global fame comes an unimaginable amount of pressure. Living out a romance under the constant gaze of millions of fans, paparazzi, and media outlets is a challenge that very few relationships can withstand. Every gesture, every unreturned tag on social media, every individual vacation or work event was scrutinized by thousands of commentators. If Kerem attended an event alone, rumors of a fallout would immediately trend. If Hande did not like a picture fast enough, endless conspiracy theories flooded online forums. The intense focus on their private life began to overshadow their individual artistic ambitions. Both Hande and Kerem are deeply passionate actors who care immensely about their craft, yet every professional achievement was constantly filtered through the lens of their relationship status. Managing personal boundaries while trying to protect a private dynamic under the intense spotlight of international stardom is an exhausting tightrope walk. Eventually, after months of incredible memories and shared success, rumors of their separation began to surface in early 2022. Unlike the noisy and public confirmation of their relationship, their parting was handled with quiet dignity, respect, and grace. There were no public feuds, no hostile statements, and no dramatic social media outbursts. They simply allowed their paths to diverge naturally as they stepped into new chapters of their personal and professional lives. In the time since, both Hande and Kerem have continued to build astonishing careers, taking on challenging new roles, representing major international luxury brands, and commanding respect across the global entertainment industry. But despite moving forward, the respect they hold for each other remains evident. Whenever questioned about their past collaboration, both have consistently spoken of their time on Senkalkapimi with immense pride and appreciation for what they accomplished together. Looking back today, the story of HANKER is far more than just a celebrity romance or a successful television marketing campaign. It was a rare, magical alignment of talent, timing, and undeniable human connection that brought joy to millions of homes around the globe. They showed us what happens when two exceptionally talented performers trust each other completely, allowing real warmth to illuminate their work. Senkalkapimi will forever stand as a masterclass in screen chemistry, and Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin will always remain one of the most iconic duos in television history. Now, as we reach the end of this deep dive, I want to hear your voice. What is the one scene from the show that you will never get tired of watching? Do you think we will ever see Hande and Kerem share the screen together in another project in the future? Share your thoughts, theories, and favorite moments in the comments section below. Do not forget to hit the like button if this video brought back great memories, and subscribe so you never miss another story about the stars you love. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. What if I told you that the ultimate fairy tale romance of Turkish television was actually wrapped in a web of hidden secrets, quiet betrayals, and unspoken truths that no one wanted to admit out loud? What if the breathtaking chemistry between Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin on the set of Senkalkapimi was not just a sweet love story, but a complex emotional maze where lines were crossed, hearts were broken, and rumors of infidelity burned right beneath the surface? Before you decide whether HANKER was the greatest couple in television history or a calculated emotional storm, I need you to hear every single detail I am about to share with you. Because what really happened behind closed doors when the cameras stopped rolling will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about them. Stick with me through this entire story, because by the time we reach the end, you will never look at Ida and Serkan the same way again. Drop a like on this video right now and leave a comment telling me your honest thoughts as we dive into this together. Let us travel back to the summer of 2020 when Senkalkapimi first invaded our television screens. From the moment Ida Yıldız handcuffed herself to Serkan Bolat, something extraordinary happened. The raw electricity between Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin was so intense that it practically burned through the screen. Millions of fans around the world immediately fell under their spell. But behind those bright smiles and playful social media streams, a dark shadow was hanging over the production. At that exact time, Hande was in a serious relationship with famous pop singer Murat Dalkılıç, and wedding rumors were everywhere. Yet, as the fake romance turned into real passion on set, Hande's personal life became incredibly tense. Turkish tabloids began asking uncomfortable questions. Was Hande falling in love with Kerem while still wearing Murat ring? Was there emotional betrayal taking place? When Murat suddenly moved out and their breakup was announced, the news sent shockwaves through the industry. Everyone wanted to know if Kerem was the catalyst that ended that relationship, or if Hande was caught harboring deep feelings for her co-star while holding on to her existing life. This brings us to one of the most controversial topics in the history of HANKER. Did Hande and Kerem cross emotional boundaries while still bound to other people? While neither admitted to physical infidelity, the timeline tells a story that is hard to ignore. When you look at how rapidly Hande's long relationship collapsed right when her bond with Kerem reached peak intensity, emotional overlap becomes almost impossible to dismiss. Emotional infidelity can cut deeper than a physical mistake because it means your heart and emotional energy have already shifted to someone new. Set insiders mentioned late-night conversations in trailer rooms, private laughter beyond rehearsing lines, and an intimate energy no actor could simply fake. For Murat, watching the woman he loved share that level of intoxicating chemistry with another man every single day must have been devastating. And for Hande, balancing her commitment to her real-life partner while feeling an overwhelming pull toward Kerem was an emotional tightrope that created massive ripples for everything that followed. Fast forward to early 2021, and rumors reached a point where denial was no longer working. For months, Hande and Kerem insisted they were just close friends and dedicated colleagues. But nobody in the global fanbase bought that story anymore. Fans analyzed every stolen glance, subtle touch, and flirty comment on social media. Then came April 2021, when the ultimate bombshell dropped. Photos emerged of Hande and Kerem vacationing together in the Maldives. Hand in hand on white sandy beaches and posting romantic photos with sweet captions, they officially confirmed what millions had been praying for. HANKER was finally real. The internet exploded into pure celebration. They were crowned as the king and queen of Turkish pop culture, landing massive commercial deals and appearing completely devoted to one another. But behind that picture-perfect getaway, was this a pure celebration of true love, or was it also a clever narrative shift to move past the chaotic overlapping relationships that started it all? For several months, HANKER seemed entirely unstoppable. They were setting social media records, drawing international attention, and living out a fairy tale come true. But living a romance under a global magnifying glass comes with a massive cost. Imagine having millions of strangers judging your relationship and demanding that your real life match a fictional TV script every single day. Slowly, silent friction began to build behind closed doors. Sources within their circle hinted at growing differences in their career paths, personal goals, and long-term visions. Kerem was eager to expand his work internationally and favored a quieter life, while Hande was rapidly ascending into the elite fashion world as a top global ambassador for luxury brands. More importantly, unresolved issues regarding trust, past partners, and emotional security began surfacing. Were they truly aligned when the cameras stopped flashing, or were lingering doubts from their dramatic beginnings starting to poison their bond? Then came early 2022, and the fairy tale came crashing down with shocking swiftness. Almost without warning, everything vanished. Photos together were wiped clean from Instagram, tagged posts disappeared, and they unfollowed each other on social media. No emotional press release was issued, just total and eerie silence. Naturally, that silence opened the floodgates for wild rumors and bitter accusations. Reports surfaced in Turkish media claiming that Kerem had crossed boundaries with other women while his relationship with Hande was going through a rough patch. Names like Spanish actress Stephanie Cayo were tossed into the conversation, suggesting Kerem had grown distant and sought comfort elsewhere during trips abroad. At the same time, rumors circulated that Hande had emotionally checked out, leading to her being spotted with actor Can Yildirim shortly after the breakup. This ignited a burning question among fans. Did one of them cheat on the other while still together, or were they both secretly pursuing other connections because their love had already withered under constant scrutiny? Understanding the tragedy of HANKER requires us to look at the painful reality of loving someone while being drawn to others. When two people spend endless hours together in romantic scenes, sharing passionate kisses and emotional lines, the boundary between fiction and reality gets blurred. Hande and Kerem fell for each other in an artificial pressure cooker of fame. But when the show ended and the fantasy disappeared, they were forced to confront real life without a script. If there was cheating or emotional wandering during their low moments, it was likely driven by fear, exhaustion, and the sudden realization that real relationships demand far more than screen chemistry. Betrayal is not always a secretive physical encounter in the shadows. Sometimes betrayal is giving your heart and emotional availability to someone else when your partner needs you most. Whether it was Kerem seeking escape or Hande searching for a fresh start, both faced the agonizing reality of loving each other while being tempted or distracted by outside figures. I want to pause right here and ask all of you watching to chime in on this debate. What do you honestly believe happened between Hande and Kerem? Do you think they were genuine soulmates who got torn apart by media pressure, or do you think there was actual betrayal that broke their trust beyond repair? Did Hande make a mistake by transitioning so quickly from Murat to Kerem, or did Kerem let someone else ruin what they built together? Please write your thoughts down in the comments section below right now. I read every single comment, and I love seeing how passionate you all are about this story. If you are enjoying this deep dive, take a quick second to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It really helps the channel grow and lets me make more videos like this for you. Looking at their current lives today gives us even deeper insight into the aftermath of their breakup. Hande has moved on to a highly publicized romance with wealthy business heir HANKER Sabansi, traveling the world on private jets and attending red carpet events globally. Yet, if you look at the comments section of almost any photo she posts, thousands of fans are still dropping comments about Kerem and tagging HANKER fan pages. On the flip side, Kerem has kept his personal life much more private, focusing heavily on his production company, acting roles, and staying away from high-profile celebrity romances. This stark contrast makes you wonder if either of them ever truly got over what they had together, or if they both carried unhealed wounds into their next chapters. Loving someone deeply while trying to build a new life with someone else is a heavy burden, and when that love was once shared with millions of onlookers, moving on completely might be almost impossible. At the end of the day, the story of Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin remains one of the most fascinating celebrity sagas of our generation. Whether their path was marred by emotional overlap, secret temptations, or just the tragic pressure of insurmountable fame, one truth remains crystal clear. The spark they created was undeniably real, and it touched millions of hearts around the world. They shared a wild, passionate, flawed, and beautiful journey that was as human as it was magical. They loved, they struggled, they made mistakes, and they paid the heavy price that comes with loving someone in the bright spotlight of the public eye. Thank you so much for sitting through this entire story with me today. Do not forget to hit that like button, leave your comment down below, and subscribe so you never miss another deep breakdown. Until next time, take care and keep keeping the love for great stories alive. Imagine standing on the edge of a massive global movement and realizing that two people, without even trying, managed to rewrite the entire rulebook of modern television romance. Stop scrolling right now, because what we are about to explore today is not just another standard celebrity topic. It is the story of an absolute phenomenon that shattered international broadcast records, took over social media across more than 100 countries, and left millions of viewers asking one single, powerful question. Will Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin ever share the exact same set again? Stay right here and do not skip a single second of this video, because we are diving deep into the raw emotional power of the HANKER dynamic, the global obsession that followed them, and the real possibility of a massive reunion film or drama that could break the internet all over again. Before we jump into the heart of this story, do me a quick favor right now. Smash that like button, hit subscribe to join our community, and drop a comment below sharing your absolute favorite scene between Ida and Serkan. Today, we are talking directly to the hearts of everyone who fell in love with their journey, so stay tuned until the very end because every detail matters. When you look back at the history of modern television, there are rare moments where casting magic simply cannot be calculated by producers or studio budgets. It is a rare alignment of energy, timing, and genuine human connection. When Senkal Kapimi first premiered, nobody could fully predict the overwhelming wall of fire it would ignite across the world. What began as a bright romantic comedy quickly morphed into an unstoppable global movement. The central driving force behind that wild success was the undeniable, electric chemistry between Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin. From their very first interaction on screen, viewers felt something completely different from standard TV couples. There was an authentic spark, a fast-paced rhythmic banter, and a level of comfort that made every glance, smile, and shared silence feel deeply real. The story of Ida Yildiz and Serkan Bolat was filled with passionate disagreements, quiet confessions, tender emotional vulnerability, and narrative twists. But what truly elevated the series into the stratosphere was how Hande and Kerem brought these characters to life. They did not just perform their assigned lines, they breathed life into every word. Every subtle micro-expression, every brush of hands, every intense stare across a room, and every tearful conversation resonated with audience members of all ages across every continent. People were not just watching a fictional show every week, they were living through a deeply personal emotional experience. The natural affection and undeniable spark between the two lead actors spilled over into every scene, blurring the lines between scripted performance and genuine human emotion. As the series progressed week after week, the excitement surrounding them crossed international borders at a speed that left major industry executives completely astonished. In countries throughout Latin America, Southern Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, fans gathered in virtual communities to tune into live broadcasts, translating episodes in real time just to experience the magic together. When the final episode aired, social media platforms experienced a historic wave of engagement. The primary hashtag dedicated to the finale accumulated over 8 million posts worldwide, officially breaking global social media records. It was concrete proof that love, when presented with true authenticity and charisma, speaks a universal language that completely transcends geographic and cultural boundaries. What made the HANKER dynamic so special to millions of fans was the genuine warmth, humor, and camaraderie they shared off-screen as well. Through behind-the-scenes footage, live social media broadcasts, and candid interviews, viewers saw two human beings who truly understood each other, supported each other through intense production schedules, and brought out the absolute best in one another. Kerem brought his energetic, quick-witted, and charming personality, while Hande brought her captivating grace, deep emotional intelligence, and radiant presence. Together, they created a harmonious synergy that was impossible to duplicate. They carried the weight of a demanding filming schedule while always displaying immense appreciation for the millions of fans supporting them from every corner of the planet. However, as all great television chapters eventually reached their conclusion, Senkal Kapimi came to a beautiful finish, leaving a void in the hearts of viewers everywhere. In the years following the finale, both Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin have continued to forge impressive individual paths within the global entertainment industry. Hande has taken on complex roles in intense dramatic television shows and expanded her footprint as an international fashion ambassador attending prestigious global events. Meanwhile, Kerem has actively pursued innovative film projects, high-profile international collaborations, and creative endeavors as an actor and producer. Yet, despite their individual accomplishments, the collective heartbeat of their combined fanbase has never truly quieted down. Every single day on social media platforms, short video edits, nostalgic clips, and heartfelt fan tributes continue to generate millions of views and viral interactions. The desire to see Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin reunite for a brand new project is stronger today than it ever was during the original run of their show. Fans continuously question whether producers and global streaming networks fully grasp the absolute goldmine of storytelling potential that lies in bringing these two powerhouse performers back together on screen. The overwhelming demand from the public is not merely a passing phase of nostalgia, it has evolved into a sustained international movement driven by an audience that craves the undeniable on-screen magic that only HANKER can deliver. So, let us address the ultimate question that every fan around the world wants answered. What would actually happen if Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin reunited for a new movie or high-end streaming series? Would it be successful? The plain and simple truth is that a reunion project would likely obliterate existing digital streaming viewership numbers and trending charts across the globe. Think about the sheer scale of their combined global reach. If a major streaming platform like Netflix or Disney officially announced a feature film starring both Hande and Kerem, the immediate hype would trend in dozens of countries within minutes. The built-in audience is already established, passionate, and ready to support them from day one. However, for a reunion project to truly honor their incredible legacy, it would need to be something extraordinarily well crafted. Fans do not want a quick rehash of Ida and Serkan in a predictable romantic comedy setup. They want to see Hande and Kerem challenge themselves in a completely fresh, bold, and modern narrative. Imagine a high-stakes romantic thriller set in a stunning European city, or a sophisticated cinematic drama that explores deep psychological tension and complex adult relationships. Picture them in a story where their characters start off as fierce rivals on opposite sides of a dramatic conflict, forcing them to navigate intense emotional sparks before surrendering to their true feelings. A project like that would allow both actors to showcase their growth while reigniting that legendary fire that captured the world. The appetite of the global television market for such a project cannot be overstated. When international entertainment distributors and streaming executives are surveyed about the most requested on-screen pairings, Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin consistently top the list. Production houses across Europe and Latin America are fully aware of the unbelievable financial and cultural power this duo possesses. The media regularly speculates about potential scripts being quietly sent to their management teams, hoping to find the exact story that could convince both stars to join forces once again. Fans spend endless hours crafting custom artwork and concept movie posters, proving that the emotional investment in this partnership remains unmatched in contemporary pop culture. If you are watching this video right now, you know exactly what that feeling is like. You remember the butterflies in your stomach during their most iconic screen moments, the heartbreaking tears during their emotional separations, and the pure joy when their characters found their way back to each other. That deep emotional connection is precisely why we are gathered here today talking about them with so much enthusiasm. Their work together did not just provide basic weekend entertainment, it brought genuine joy, comfort, hope, and connection to people during times when the world desperately needed a little extra light and magic. I want to hear from every single person watching this right now. If you were handed the pen to write the ultimate comeback movie for Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin, what kind of plot would you create for them? Share your ideas down in the comments section below. Do not forget to hit the like button right now to boost this video so more HANKER fans across the globe can find our community, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss our upcoming deep dives into your favorite stars and shows. Thank you for spending your time with me today, for keeping the love for this incredible pair alive, and for being such an extraordinary community. Until next time, keep holding on to the magic, keep spreading the love, and let us all keep hoping for that dream reunion on screen. Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and realized, right then and there, that your life was about to change forever? Long before millions of viewers in over 100 countries fell completely in love with Ida Yildiz and Serkan Bolat, something undeniably intense and breathtakingly real was unfolding behind the scenes. It was not just script lines or director cues. It was an energy so magnetic that even the crew on set could feel the shift in the room whenever they walked in together. If you think you know the full story of how Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin fell in love, hold on tight, because what happened when the cameras stopped rolling is even more extraordinary than the show itself. Stay right here with me, because today we are diving deep into the raw, unscripted truth of how two of the biggest stars in the world turned a fictional romance into one of the most iconic real-life love stories of our generation. Before we jump into the secret moments that brought them together, I want to ask you something. When was the exact moment you realized that Hande and Kerem were not just acting anymore? Was it during one of those electric eye contact scenes in the early episodes, or was it during their hilarious live streams on social media? Drop your thoughts in the comments below right now, and make sure to give this video a like if HANKER still holds a special place in your heart. Your support helps us bring more of these deep, passionate stories to light. To truly understand how this legendary bond was formed, we have to travel back to early 2020. At that time, inside the Turkish television industry, momentum was building for a brand new romantic comedy called Sen Kalkapimi. The casting directors were looking for something rare. They did not just need two famous actors, they needed an undeniable spark that could light up the screen. When Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin were brought together for their initial read-throughs, nobody could have predicted just how powerful that meeting would be. Hande was already an international sweetheart, known for her breathtaking beauty, subtle grace, and emotional range. Kerem brought a unique international energy, incredible charisma, a sharp sense of humor, and a deeply dedicated work ethic. When two strong personalities like that meet, things can go one of two ways. They can clash, or they can create magic. From the very first table read, it was clear that magic had won. But what really laid the foundation for their love was not instant romantic attraction, it was pure friendship. They spent hours talking, sharing their worldviews, laughing at each other's jokes, and establishing a space of absolute trust. Kerem mentioned in interviews how much he respected Hande's professionalism and how comfortable he felt around her right from day one. Hande felt that same sense of ease. When you are about to embark on a project with intense filming schedules, having a partner who truly listens to you is everything. As production started in the heat of summer, the working conditions were grueling. We are talking about 16-hour days, constant line rehearsals, tight deadlines, and relentless summer heat. Under that kind of pressure, people show their true colors. And for Hande and Kerem, that pressure did not push them apart, it brought them closer together. Between takes, while the technical crew was setting up lights and cameras, you would rarely find them sitting alone in their trailers. Instead, they were sitting together, sharing tea, bantering, practicing lines, and making the set laugh. They developed an inner world, filled with inside jokes that only the two of them understood. If you watched Sinkalkapimi from the beginning, you probably noticed that the chemistry between Ida and Serkan felt almost overwhelmingly real. That was not just brilliant acting. That was two people who genuinely enjoyed every single second of each other's company. They began improvising small gestures, unscripted smiles, subtle touches, and playful glances that made it into the final edit. Directors quickly realized that the best moments on camera were often the ones where Hande and Kerem were just being themselves within their characters. By late 2020, the HANKER phenomenon had taken over the internet. Millions of fans across South America, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East were dissecting every second of screen time. Every single time Hande posted a photo or Kerem went live on Instagram, millions tuned in within seconds. And during those live streams, the energy was infectious. They would tease each other endlessly, laugh until they could barely speak, and look at each other with an intensity that sent shockwaves through the fandom. Fans started asking the obvious question, is this still just acting, or are we watching two people fall in love in real time? At first, both Hande and Kerem kept their guards up in public. When reporters asked about romantic rumors, they brushed them off with warm smiles, insisting that they were just incredible friends and great coworkers who were focused on their job. And in a way, they were being honest. They did not rush into anything. They allowed their bond to mature naturally beneath the surface, away from the prying eyes of the media. They protected what they were building. They knew that when public expectation becomes too heavy, it can easily crush something delicate. So they chose patience. However, as the months went by and filming continued into the winter of 2020 and early 2021, the connection became too strong to conceal. It showed in the way Kerem would instinctively look out for Hande on chaotic sets, ensuring she was comfortable, warm, and taken care of. It showed in the way Hande looked at Kerem when he was not paying attention, a soft, admiring gaze that no script could ever dictate. They had become each other's safe haven amidst the overwhelming storm of fame. I want to pause for just a moment to ask you something. If you are enjoying this deep dive into their journey, please take a quick second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really means the world to us and allows us to keep creating high-quality storytelling videos like this for you. And tell me in the comments, what is your absolute favorite scene between Ida and Serkan in the entire series? I read all your comments and love seeing your favorite memories. Now, let us talk about the turning point that officially broke the internet and turned rumors into confirmed reality. In April 2021, after months of exhausting work, the show went on a short broadcast break before starting its second season. Hande and Kerem decided to take a much-needed vacation to the beautiful islands of the Maldives. At first, they kept things quiet, posting individual shots of the turquoise water and sandy beaches. But fans quickly put the puzzle pieces together. The location tags, the matching scenery, the shadows in the background, it was all too identical to be a coincidence. Then came the moment that made history. Both Kerem and Hande posted photos of each other on their official social media accounts with beautiful, heartfelt captions. Kerem posted a picture of Hande surrounded by flowers with a caption that declared his admiration for her, calling her a beautiful soul. Hande posted a stunning photo of them together in the ocean, writing about how special he was to her. The internet practically imploded. Millions of likes, hundreds of thousands of comments, and trending topics in dozens of countries within minutes. They had finally confirmed what the world had suspected for months, HANKER was real. What made their love story so captivating to millions was not just that they were two breathtakingly gorgeous people. It was the absolute authenticity of their relationship. In a world of PR relationships and manufactured celebrity couples, Hande and Kerem felt completely genuine. They did not display their love for cheap attention. They shared moments of quiet support, mutual respect, and genuine friendship. Kerem was always Hande's biggest cheerleader, constantly praising her talent, her heart, and her strength. Hande was an anchor for Kerem, bringing a sense of warmth, peace, and home to his fast-paced life. Even when they were filming emotional or difficult scenes for Season 2 of Sankal Kapimi, that real-life love elevated the entire show. You could feel the maturity in their characters, reflecting the deep personal trust they had established in real life. When Serkan looked at Ida, you were not seeing an actor reading lines. You were seeing a man deeply in love with the woman standing right across from him. As time moved forward, both of them faced the immense challenge of balancing an ultra-public relationship with their personal lives. Every single move they made, every event they attended, and every social media post was analyzed under a microscope by media outlets and fans worldwide. Despite that unimaginable pressure, they handled everything with grace.